And we're back.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Film Foragers. Today we are talking about the new movie on Disney Plus, Prey, directed by Dan Trachtenberg. And I've just seen it, Reinhard's now seen it twice, and we're going to do a spoiler review right now. So Reinhard, what did you think of Prey?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was very like efficient in terms of the story. Like there's not a lot of sort of side quests or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, having just seen bits of the very first Predator, you can definitely see like the lack of budget and I guess practical effects wasn't as big a part of the movie, and I feel like that could have been something they could have brought back more.
That's a fair point.
The acting from the leads was really strong, but I definitely felt like the supporting cast didn't really get a lot to do.
Fair enough.
I don't know if that's the writing or if it's the directing or if they just maybe weren't the most experienced actors or what the story is there.
Yeah.
But like they don't really seem to get much emotional depth going on.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about what the story was, pretty much. So this is 200 years before the original Predator movie, ish, which is 1785, something like that.
Yeah.
And or 1775, and they're in Northern America.
North America with the Comanches, or Comanche tribe. Or a Comanche tribe.
Yes.
Of Native Americans. Somewhere you'd assume in sort of southern USA.
Yes. Spoilers for everyone out there. We don't do a lot of research on this show, but we give it our best shot to talk about what we see and what we hear with our own senses. And pretty much it follows a young Comanche woman who is trying to prove to her family and to her tribe and to her brother that she is a very capable hunter, and she's trying hard to make that into a reality for herself.
Yeah, she's sort of trying to break the mold of like their gender norms where the women are foraging and the men are hunting. Yeah.
And she's very skilled, and particularly with a
tomahawk.
A tomahawk, on the end of a rope. Which comes into play quite a few times. Let's talk about spoilers for everyone out there. Ryan and I have just watched the movie, and this is Ryan's second time, my first, and there was a bit that we had a discussion about, Ryan. We'll tell the viewers about it. About the mud.
About the mud.
Pretty much, I said to Ryan, well, I'm pretty sure I know where this is going to go, because anytime, it's particularly from the first Predator movie, when somebody gets muddy, you kind of go, well, I know which way this is going to go. We're going to use this as camo, and the Predator's not going to be able to see. That didn't happen in this one.
Yeah, and you kind of wonder if they knew that's what people would be thinking. So she falls into a sort of a pit of quicksand.
Yes.
And she comes out covered in mud, and then immediately she washes herself.
Yes.
And clean, and it comes back later in the form of a trap.
Yeah, which is cool.
Which is good, and it doesn't work. But it sort of makes sense that she would try and use it as a trap.
Yeah.
But they definitely play it at the start of the film, and you definitely think, okay, this is definitely going to come in handy.
Yeah.
And yet it's never ever used as camouflage.
Yeah.
Which was surprising.
And
they use a type of like traditional medicine.
Yeah, like a herb type thing, flower type thing that like cools your blood, so then the Predator can't see you.
Yeah, and I'm not 100% sure on the science behind whether it would actually cool your blood. I feel like that might kill you. If it would make a big difference.
Yeah.
I think it was nice that they came up with something different, but the fact that they had mud and like they literally used mud for something else, it just felt like sort of unnecessary. They would come up with this completely separate.
It was an odd thing. I liked the surprise of it not being the same as the first like the original Predator movie.
Yeah.
But it was just an odd, like, I suppose we thought it was going one way and it turned out to be going a different way.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. What did you think of the Predator?
The Predator. I think the Predator, they stuck to, like from the original, they stuck to the sort of more traditional design.
Right.
Of like, this is a guy in a suit.
Yes.
But they spiced it up a bit in terms of like giving him more primitive technology.
He's giving him a different look. Yeah, primitive weapons as well.
I think they did everything right with that. And it's nice we get some beats of him on his own without the protagonist, without any other human characters, just, doing stuff with the animals.
And he fights a big bear.
Fights a bear. There's quite a good scrap with the bear.
He does have quite a good scrap with the bear.
Puts up a pretty good fight. Yeah. And you see him playing with his trophies just like in the original.
Just like in the original, yeah. He has a little go with skins a snake.
Yeah.
He skins a wolf.
And
kills the wolf.
I feel like he gets a little bit less personality than the original Predator, in that the original Predator, like as we just watched the ending of that.
Yeah, suppose we just watched also the end, which is just the end of the original Predator, because
he's like really snarky.
He is very snarky. He uses Billy's
the way he uses other people's lives.
Sorry, spoiler for the Predator as well.
Sets off the detonation. Like he's just a bit of a dick about the whole thing.
Yeah.
This new Predator that we watched in the latest film is more like he's a sore loser. Like
he is a bit of a sore loser.
As soon as he starts losing, he's just like, invisible again. As soon as it's not going his way.
I would have liked a little bit more. It's hard to do on a Predator on a character type level because he is kind of there to sort of, he's hunting for sport.
Yeah. It is tricky because his motivation is the same.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they could have changed that. I mean, you do wonder if. I don't know if there could have been. I'm glad they stayed away from Predator versus Predator conflict, because we've seen that. I don't know if you've seen that in the last couple of Predator movies.
No.
Like there's one of Adrian Brody Predators in 2010.
Oh, is that the one?
Predators vs Predators, and then there's the Predator.
Is that the one where they all get transported to a place and the Predators then hunt them?
It was actually okay. Like, I enjoyed
spoilers
it.
For that movie as well.
Spoilers for that movie. It's a decent movie. It's definitely not the best Predator movie. It didn't really add a lot. But it's okay. But that sort of started the trend of Predator versus Predator.
Yes.
And it did it fairly well, but that also led to the Predator, where you get the super Predator.
The super Predator, yes.
Jumped up.
The big old boy Predator.
Yeah, of the gene splicing, and it's just like, it led to a bad thing, basically.
It did. What did you think of the main lady? The main woman?
I think her acting was pretty solid. I've seen her in Legion before.
Okay.
And I think she generally is quite good at playing a stoic sort of character.
Yeah, she was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel she was clearly, quite onto it with the fight choreography.
Absolutely, yeah. And if it wasn't her stunt double was very onto it.
Yeah, exactly. But it's still, like I say, with just little things like her tomahawk rope thing. It's cool, but it's more like something you'd expect out of an Assassin's Creed game.
Or like a John Wick.
Yeah, or John Wick. It's a bit much even for John Wick. It's almost like a Legolas level of like.
It is. She's very CGI for that. Very skilled. Yeah, it is. It is one of those things. Yeah.
If they could do that practically, that would be amazing. But obviously, you would need like so much training.
Yeah. And
even then, I mean, it'd be probably really dangerous.
I would be curious to know how much of it is actually practical with the throwing and the. Well, not necessarily the throwing. Throwing's very amazing, but I think being able to throw it, hit something, pull it out, and pull it back towards you, catching it.
Yeah,
there's a lot of skill in that.
It's a little bit sort of breaks your suspension of disbelief. I think.
Yes.
Like you're watching that, you at no point do you think, that's what they're actually doing. That's what this person's capable of.
Yeah.
Like it's very much okay. It's a character.
The character thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So overall, would you recommend to the viewers?
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. I think it's definitely better than pretty much any of the other Predator movies, except for the first one. I haven't seen the second one, Predator 2, in a long time. I do like Danny Glover's.
Is that when he comes to town?
Yeah, so it's in an urban environment, and Danny Glover's he's like a detective, I think, trying to solve the murder of why this Predator's murdering all these bad dudes. Right. And it's got quite good action, and I remember enjoying it. It wasn't as good as the first one.
Right.
But Danny Glover's a great actor, and I think he held it together pretty well. So this is probably, I sort of put it at that level. Like I say, I think Alien versus Predator, for all the shit it gets, like it actually added more to the lore.
Yes.
And it also had quite a strong female protagonist.
Yeah. Okay.
Who I think was who was treated with utmost respect in terms of like the story. She was never a damsel in distress. She was never.
She was never portrayed as a stereotype.
Yeah, not in any way, and she also wasn't. I don't know. I mean, you always it's sort of a damned if you do or damned if you don't with movies nowadays. But I feel like whenever a movie tries to be more progressive with like in terms of gender norms or whatever, it also runs the risk of being a little bit pandering, and it's always hard to know.
It's a grey area. It's a hard one. Yeah.
Like I know of Dan Trachtenberg with 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yes.
That's another great movie with a female protagonist.
Yes.
Who has to be a hero.
Yes.
And the whole movie is basically her becoming a hero when she doesn't want to.
Right.
And I think to me that was a stronger story.
Okay.
Than the Prey. Not that Prey is bad. And obviously it's interesting they would go with like an indigenous culture.
Yeah, absolutely.
And their gender norms, and show that in other cultures there were also gender norms and people who wanted to rebel against them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, so overall, pretty good. Would recommend. And if you've got Disney, we're not sponsored by Disney Plus, but if you've got Disney Plus, and we're two guys from New Zealand, and we don't get a lot of we get the streaming, but we don't get a lot of them. We get the streaming that everybody else can, but sometimes we're limited here in this small little part of the world. So, but if you've got Disney Plus and you want to watch Prey, I think we'd highly recommend.
Yeah, I recommend it.
Yeah, it's a quick in and out 140. It doesn't drag on like a it's a
tight movie.
Like a maybe a bigger budget movie might. But it's just nice sort of streamlined good movie to chuck on if you want to chuck it on and just have a watch. I think it's really good.
Yeah.
That's all from us today. But we'll see you next time, and if you give us a like or a subscribe or both, that would be amazing. And we'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Bye bye.